Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back. During uncertain times, stress levels are high. And joining us for a discussion on the importance of meditation, we have a senior instructor of Mindful, Marisa Viola. We welcome you to the show. They say MNDFL, right? Meditation.com. Tell us about the importance of meditation.
Thank you so much for talking to me about this and for talking about meditation in general. It's really such a powerful tool, and it's interesting because it's been gaining a lot of popularity.
Yeah.
I teach in corporations at this point. I've taught in really pretty much every population you can imagine. It feels almost like it was all leading up to this point because such a tool of resilience.
Now more so than ever before.
Exactly. That expression, now more than ever, just gets truer and truer and truer, doesn't it? Yeah, it's a practice that is about resilience in a lot of ways. It's a very realistic kind of down-to-earth practice. And I think that there are some misperceptions around it that make it seem like it's a bit flighty or like a new agey kind of woo-woo thing. But really, it's very much about getting grounded and learning how to deal with reality. So it's very much about finding a way of participating with your experience that's going to allow you to relax into it and stay open to it. So there's really no time that is not a good thing. But obviously right now we're in a really sort of unprecedented unknown. We've never really been in a place that is so totally unknown. And so this is really a practice that is all about that. It's all about navigating the unknown and developing confidence in doing that.
So there's a lot of things going on the outside, but what you want to do is bring people on the inside, the subconscious world, and get into meditation. For one who's never done that before, how do you start? Where do you start? How do you?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm so glad that you said that. I'm so glad that you phrased it that way, that, now it's kind of this opportunity for us to come to the inside. And I know that, a lot of what's coming up for people, it feels really frightening and new. But in a lot of ways, if we're paying attention, it's an opportunity for us to actually notice the ways in which some of these feelings might be kind of familiar. Very, very like deeply ingrained sort of reactionary way of being in our own worlds, in our own minds. So to just approach the situation with some curiosity and sort of like, oh, maybe this is an opportunity for me to take a look at the things that are maybe making me suffer more deeply than I have to. So for a beginner, I would say the most important thing is to find some guidance. So I'm an instructor, as you said, for mindful meditation. We have a live stream that we're doing, so people can go to Mindful TV, which I think it's just found at Mindful Meditation, MNDFL meditation. There's also apps that you can download. There's a million different ways of getting meditation into your life. So I would say starting with some guidance and not feeling the pressure to just sort of like sit down and get it right. Recognizing that this is not a practice that's about clearing your mind. It's not about this kind of like instant serenity or like, oh, I sit down and I'm going to have this really peaceful experience. It's really about slowing down and getting to know your own mind. So I think when you're beginning, the most important thing is to not judge your experience, to recognize it's going to be kind of itchy and uncomfortable, but to be willing to work with what is there. I always say that this is a practice that is about willingness, not perfection.
What do you want people to know about meditation and mental health? Because, we're on top of one another right now. We're coming in many different ways, coming in out of the community, and you're coming in from working outward to come into your mind and get into your subconscious world. What do you want them to know about the mental health and meditation?
Yeah. So I think that especially for the particular circumstances that we're in right now, the lack of control is really, really triggering.
Yeah.
And that's triggering for people all the time. Human beings want control. We really crave it. And we're not going to get all that much of it. So I think that in terms of navigating the situation and really working on building some sort of courage and strength in that realm of mental health, the first thing is just recognizing we have to let go of some of that control. There's going to be noise that is in our environment that we don't necessarily want. I was actually working with a one-on-one student who I usually work with in person, but we were working via Skype just before I was talking to you. And he has 5 children. And we spent the first 5 minutes of meditation just really opening up to the sounds in the environment and recognizing them as the sounds of life rather than the sounds of somebody interrupting your meditation.
So you include the outside sounds into your meditation.
This is a bridge, this practice.
Yes.
It's a bridge between what's on the inside and what's on the outside. And it allows us to soften a little bit into our experience and be more compassionate with both ourselves and others, which is actually scientifically proven. This is the amazing thing, is that all of the science, all of the studies that have happened around meditation are really showing how this is affecting the brain. So we're taking pressure off of the amygdala when we meditate, which is responsible for the fight-flight reaction.
Yeah.
We're lengthening our fuse. A student of mine one time told me that he felt that he went from having a 3-second fuse to a 10-second fuse.
I know what that's like.
You know what it's like?
Okay. I know what it's like.
Do you practice? Or you just know the 3-second fuse?
I know about the fuses.
about the 2 different styles. Yeah, exactly.
I have gone in a few times before in my life.
Yeah. It's a big shift. It allows us to stay in the present. It allows us to be not always 10 steps ahead. It's needed all the time, but right now it's going to give us the resiliency that we really need. And, in a sense, as scary as this situation is, and obviously it's going to come with a lot of suffering, which I'm in no way minimizing, it's an opportunity for us as well to slow down and begin to work on these things. Like, we can come out of this possibly stronger than when we went in.
Yeah. I had a professor at the New York Institute of Technology, and he was into silver mine meditation. I don't know if they still do that. I haven't done it in a while, but have you heard of
that one? But it sounds fascinating.
Silver mine meditation. I won't get into it because I was back there.
Yeah.
But yes, this is helping us with our everyday health, right? And this is something that's needed today. Absolutely. Because a lot of people are frightened. A lot of people are, they don't know what's around the corner. And our officials are trying to explain to us, but it seems like they don't know all of the answers.
Exactly. They don't have.
And they don't know. That frightens everybody.
Exactly. But the thing is that with all of these changes also comes a lot of opportunity.
Yeah.
It comes with the opportunity for us to adapt and grow and evolve. And maybe there are ways that we need to evolve, and this can be a practice that really allows us to kind of relate to what's going on from a saner place.
Marisa, can you walk us through some of it? Maybe.
Sure, absolutely. Do you want me to do like an actual little mini practice, or do you want me to just give tips?
What do you feel most comfortable with?
Well, here's what I will say is that whoever is watching or listening right now, if you can take a moment to just drop down into your body. So wherever you are, just finding the sense of gravity. So noticing where you're connected to something solid beneath you. So if you're sitting in a chair, the sits bones that are connected to the chair, maybe the feet on the floor, legs resting on a chair, back against a chair. And noticing how much support you actually have right now. Noticing that gravity is really holding you and actually connecting you to the earth. And maybe even you can take a moment to recognize that right now the earth is healing. And let yourself take some of that energy, some of that rest. Just settling down into the body, noticing how it feels, including aches and pains. They don't have to magically go away. We're just kind of opening up to what the body feels like. Opening up to the sounds in your environment. And recognizing that that's just the sound of life. And from this open place, shifting your attention to the breath. Noticing where the breath is happening in the body. What do the sensations of breathing actually feel like? You don't have to breathe extra heavy. You don't have to do something to change your breathing. You're just kind of tuning into its natural rhythm. The temperature of the air as it rushes in and out of the nostrils. The rise and fall of the chest and the abdomen. And recognizing that the breath is an anchor for you. It's kind of like your home base. So your mind will wander when you're meditating, but then you'll notice and you'll come back to that home base. So this isn't about sustaining one state. It's about using the breath as an anchor for remaining mindful and noticing what's going on in your experience. And when you notice that your mind has wandered and you lost track of the breath, you lost track of the fact that you were meditating, you just very gently reconnect with the breath. Not as a way of fixing yourself or getting rid of anything, but as a way of staying with yourself so that you can keep noticing. With this willingness to notice what's going on without reacting to it. And just following the natural rhythm of the breath. Letting the air nurture you. And now shifting your attention back to the sounds where you are. The temperature of the air. Reconnecting with that sense of gravity at your seat. That sense of really being held. And maybe just finishing with a nice deep breath. That's just a little micro practice to get yourself.
I want to take a nap right about now.
Oh, good.
So relaxed.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And you know what? It's always available. That's the beauty of this practice is you don't need anything for it. You don't need to, it's not about tuning things out. It doesn't have to be perfectly quiet.
Yes.
And I always say it's about tuning in, not tuning out.
We need you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Marisa Viola, Mindful, MNDFL, meditation.com. Is that right?
That's right. And we've got meditation streaming like multiple times throughout the day with lots of great different teachers. So so check it out or find an app that you like. It's a great time to cultivate a practice. And start small. Start small, just 5 minutes a day if you're doing it on your own with an app.
We love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Much love.
Much love. Marisa Viola. All right, we'll take a break. We've got more next.